Hi, I'm Debbie Mulwater, a producer of CrowdPlay.Events, and I'm pretty stoked about your upcoming appearance in our spotlight. So it's my focus to raise up aspiring comedians, to have funny fun, and to have really entertaining shows for the audiences that come out to see us. You're watching an orientation video for our operations here at the Comedy Zone Charlotte. It's our goal to answer all of your questions that you have as an incoming open mic comedian. We want your experience to be fun, smooth, and a night out that you're going to remember for a long time to come. Subsequent videos cover tips, tricks, advice, guidelines for both comedy writing and performance. The Comedy Zone Charlotte is located at 900 NC Music Factory Boulevard, right here in Charlotte, North Carolina, 28206. On most nights, parking is free all over the property, including the small parking lot in front of the club, the street parking, the parking garage in the back of the property, and then the dirt parking lot behind that. This is a concert venue property, and sometimes there's big concerts happening the same time that our comedy shows are happening. Traffic's going to be backed up all over the property. All I'm saying is leave yourself maybe a half an hour to actually get on property and get on down to the club. That's for a stress-free experience. So to find the Music Factory property, you're looking for the intersection of Graham Street and NC Music Factory Boulevard. It's kind of in the shadow of I-277 overpass, and you'll know that you found it when you see the tower signage for the NC Music Factory and these giant glow stick looking thingies. The Comedy Zone Charlotte is located on the right-hand side, about an eighth of a mile down. And once you're on the Music Factory property, the Comedy Zone Charlotte is actually located kind of underneath Wet Willie's and another restaurant. And to actually get into the building, you're either gonna go into the restaurant and find the stairway that leads down into the showroom, or you can use the handicap access walkway that leads directly into the club. There is an ATM located between Wet Willie's and the restaurant. The club does accept credit cards. However, if you're maybe competing in a competition that requires a cash buy-in, or if you wanted to have your set taped, then you're gonna need cash for those things. So guests need to check in at the box office for assigned seating. For CrowdPlay events, tickets are gonna be $10 in advance or $15 at the door. Advance sales end about 15 minutes before the showroom doors open. You can purchase your tickets one of three ways: by calling the box office at 980-321-4702, by visiting their website, cltcomedyzone.com, or right here at the box office window at 900 NC Music Factory Boulevard inside the club. Convenience fees are waived if you're buying your ticket here at the box office window. They're just going to charge for tax. Many Mondays the box office is closed. Otherwise, the box office is typically open from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. The showroom does serve a full dinner and drink menu here, and I enjoy it. It's Mexican, so normally I just make it part of my fun night out to have dinner and a few drinks. You should too. All right, performers are gonna bypass the box office, and you're gonna come through past the showroom double doors, and when you get to the host stand, ask for a performer check-in, which you're actually gonna find all the way back in the rear of the showroom in our carpeted VIP area. So during the show, you can sit in the back of the room with all the comics, or you're welcome to sit with your people too, provided that you let the box office know that you're sitting there. Now, you're not going to be charged for a ticket, but we just want to prevent trying to sit another guest in your lap. And the restrooms are located just inside of the showroom, maybe 10 paces away from the double doors that open into the showroom. And you know you're in the right place when you find the green lights, and that will lead down to the restrooms. Enjoy. So you need to be here at performer check-in a minimum of 30 minutes before your showtime. So if you are booked on an 8 p.m. show, I'd love to have you here between 7:20 and 7:30 p.m. So here at Performer Check-In, we're gonna do a couple of things. One, if you're on a competition show and there's a cash buy-in, we're gonna collect that here. If you opt in to have your video taped and you wanna do that for $10, then we collect that here also. Most importantly, you're gonna fill out an introduction card. On your introduction card, you're gonna write exactly what you want our host to say about you as you're coming to the stage. We do this for everybody. Everybody gets an introduction card, and you're gonna follow this by the phonetical spelling of your name. Most comics write where they are from, followed by their name. A few comics will write their credits, followed by their name. Many comics will write a funny one-liner about themselves, followed by their name. And some comics write a funny one-liner that then leads them into the opening joke, followed by their name. For 99 months, I used, your next comic is telling jokes for two. Please welcome Debbie Mullwater. Then I came out and delivered a set that was all pregnancy jokes. Typically, there is a pre-show meeting just before showtime. We're gonna reiterate a lot of the information that's even contained in this video, but most importantly, we are gonna announce the lineup. Now, I don't know the order of the lineup until maybe 20 minutes before showtime. There's just too many moving pieces. Now, if your guests start to ask you where you are in the lineup, please tell them what you know, that the lineup isn't finalized until just before showtime. Our shows do start on time and typically run 2 hours or less. Guests are expected to stay for the entirety of the show and be attentive for all the other acts. Please also let your guests know that you could be the very first act on stage. Sometimes it's a lady luck that draws your name out of the hat, and that they should be seated before the show starts. That way they are guaranteed to see you. Generally, it's considered good form that you, the performer, stay for the entire length of the show, watch all the other performers go up. There's a lot to be learned from them, some good things to learn from them, and then things like, oh, I don't want to be and do that. So please do stay and enjoy the entire show. If for some reason it's critical that you leave, please do approach one of the on-site producers so that way we don't judge you too harshly. I kind of heard somewhere that people that just duck out after their sets aren't rebooked on future shows. I might have heard that because that's my standing policy. So see you for the full show. Because we have so many comics that want to participate on CrowdPlay event shows, I really don't offer any entrance music. Sorry about that. It adds a runtime, or you start worrying about dancing instead of telling jokes, or it adds runtime. Frankly, it just gets confusing for me, so sorry, no entrance music. Sorry, really sorry. All right, so we're going all the way through our lineup. The show is steadily going. Finally, the guy that you know that's before you is on stage. This is when I need you to be in the on-deck circle. So not every comic that gets on stage is going to use their full length of time. Sometimes people bail for whatever reason, or they only had a couple minutes prepared. So that's fine. That's not a problem. That's actually pretty good for our shows. There's no penalty for going under on time. However, being the next comic on stage, that's why we want you on the ready, because you never know when you're going to have to. You don't want to be like caught on the other side of the showroom and have to make a mad dash to the stage. It kind of leaves a gap in the runtime of the show, and then also, more importantly, you're going to arrive to the stage winded. If you're winded, you're going to have trouble telling your jokes, and that's just a bad situation all around. So maybe you like a challenge, but for the rest of us, just be on the on-deck circle. Anyways, there is a fire extinguisher in the corner of the showroom, and this should signal to you like the beginning of the on-deck circle. You're gonna notice that there's a black curtain with 2 TVs, but more importantly, I wanna point out the corridor behind the black curtain, and this just leads straight to the stage. So you're gonna walk down this walkway. So this walk down the stage is my one of my favorite parts. So I want you to do a mental exercise as you're walking on stage. Picture me walking off a stage just after rocking a set, and we give each other a big high five. I mean, it's behind the curtain, so only me and you know about it, but you've got this. This is your audience, and you're gonna have a great time. Yay, finally made it to stage. All right, this is what we all came for. If you only take one thing away from this video, it's that you should talk into the microphone. I mean, that's why we came out after all. But you wouldn't believe how many guys are holding the microphone wrong. It's just nerves or not having the experience, but you should literally talk into the microphone and not up here at the head, talk all the way down here at the shaft, but throw your voice down in there. Super important. If the audience can't hear you, they're not gonna understand your jokes, they're not gonna laugh. So that's like the quickest fix that we can make. What I want you to do is picture that I'm taking a 2-inch string and I'm tying it to the cleft of your chin and then the other end to the head of the microphone here, and really just wherever your chin goes, that microphone is gonna follow. This is gonna be the perfect thing, and again, just talking down in the microphone. So the more and more experience that you get along the way, the better feel you'll have for where you are in your set time-wise. Until then, we do have a couple cues to help you figure out where you are. One is called the light, where we literally take a flashlight and shine it into your eyeballs. Bad idea. The other thing is built into our video timers, we have a throat clearing noise. Both of these, the light and the audio cue, signals that you have 1 minute remaining in your set. You don't need to run immediately off stage if you are aware of either of these, but again, it's a good indicator that you do have the 1 minute remaining. You should kind of finish up your last joke and make your way off stage. Also very helpful is the countdown timer itself. You could slightly turn your body and be able to see exactly where you are in your set. Like I only have 17 seconds now to wrap this bit up. What happens is we're not gonna let you go more than 5 seconds past 0, and that's just because there's so many comics, and especially on a competition night, we wanna make sure that we keep it fair to anybody. There is no penalty for going over time. We're just gonna cut your microphone and the host is gonna start to announce the next act. Yay, congratulations, you just crushed your set. It's now time for you to dismount the stage. However, I need for you to reset the stage for me. And what I need you to do is if you took the microphone out of the stand, I need you to return the stand back to the top of the stage and then place the microphone back in the stand. Bam, reset for the next comic. On some shows, our host will be coming on stage and you can shake his hand as you're going on and off stage. Other show formats, the host doesn't come on stage in between each of the comics. Instead, he, from the sound booth, is announcing the comedians to the stage. So that's why it's super important for you to reset the stage for the guy behind you. So we believe strongly that you should be taping yourself and more importantly, watching the tape of yourself. There's many reasons for this. One, probably for me, the most important one is maybe say something off the cuff on the stage and it's just a gem. Well, there's a phenomena where you come off stage and you can't remember and you ask your buddy, what was that great thing that I said that made everybody laugh? And he doesn't remember. But the tape remembers. So that's probably the most convincing argument that I can make. Also, maybe you have a festival or MC bookers that want to put you on their shows, and then you have video to circulate to them. Maybe you want to show your mom. For whatever reason, getting the tape is always a good idea. We want you to study, learn, and really review your tapes. For myself, I find it 5 times more helpful to look back at the tape than it is to even do the performance. So it's totally okay with us if you just want to hand your cell phone to your buddy and let him tape. However, may I recommend to you like we bring in a videographer every night. It's just $10, and within 3 days' time, you'll get an unlisted YouTube link to your set. And that means that you purposely have to circulate the link around in order for anybody to see it. That way, 3 years from now, you're not emailing me back to take the video down because you're about to get a new job. But it's a great service. You know, there's any number of things that could go wrong. There's been times where you know, I've brought my own camera out to tape myself, and I forgot to turn the tape on. Another time, somebody knocked the tripod and it went askew, and it wasn't even focused on more than just my right shoulder. It was a great performance by my right shoulder, by the way. And you know, sometimes, you know, battery issues, but for whatever reason, you don't capture the video. So there's my argument for letting the videographer that we bring in just take care of it for you. So thank you so much for watching this entire orientation video. If you go back through and find out how many times I said more importantly, there's some additional stage time for you. Just remind me about it. Hopefully this video answers all the questions that you had. And if you still have any remaining questions, then you can go ahead and email me either at wmillwater@gmail.com or at CrowdPlay.Events@gmail.com. So it's super important to me that you have a great time, that your guests that you invited out have a great time, everybody's laughing and eating and drinking, and really that we're just having a true experience together. I want it to be a night that you remember for a long time to come. And we're gonna make some subsequent videos, gonna have some tips, tricks, advice, you know, just general protocol and how to grow in your comedy career should you perform more than one night. And it's really gonna cover both comedy writing and performance. So stay tuned for those. In the meantime, good luck, have fun, and we'll see you on stage real soon.